gentlemen, it's Thursday night at 8 o'clock, and it is time for the Steps Edit podcast. My name is Stephen B, and I am your host here on the Steps Headed podcast. I stole this line from Club Shay Shay. Shannon Sharp says that this Club Shay Shay, where he is Shannon Sharp, the proprietor. He says, I am Shannon Sharp, where I am the proprietor of Club Shay Shay, and I am Stephen B, and I am the proprietor of the Steps Headed podcast. Listen, I want to welcome you all to my show on tonight. I'm excited. Wait, let me do this right. So, good evening for those of you who are watching me live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to those of you who may be watching me on the playback. I want to take a moment to thank all of you for taking a moment out of your day to share some time, spend some time with your boy here on the Steps Headed podcast. Listen, I am so excited to be on this show because this show is going to be a little bit different. Every show that I've run since the inception, we've always had a letter. Tonight, I'm not going to have a letter. But tonight it's going to be very informative. It's going to be very entertaining. For those of you who may not be aware, March is Endometriosis Awareness Month, along with Women's History Month. And so I have a very special person who's going to be on the show tonight. She's going to share the screen with me. We're going to talk about her journey. We're going to talk about her process. She is, I'm going to let her tell y'all all the stuff that she does and who she is. And for those of you who've been watching me every week, I promise y'all, I'm going to get this cough taken care of. I can go an entire day without coughing. And then as soon as it's time for the podcast, I all of a sudden start coughing. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. It's not a thing. All right. But back to the show. And so I have a very, very special friend on the show. As a matter of fact, I call her a friend because she is a friend, but she is really more like a sister to me. I affectionately call her my not so twin. And we'll talk about that when she gets on. We'll break that down for you. But ladies and gentlemen, please take a moment, clap your hands, send like emojis, send smiley faces, send all the love and the support to my sister, Miss Denika Fortner. Not so twin.
Yes,
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. So listen, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time to be on the show with me on tonight. I appreciate it so much. When you reached out to me, you told me, hey, March is Endometriosis Awareness Month. And so I want to be on the show. I'm like, listen, I'm all for it. Let's do it. And so thank you so much for hanging out with me on tonight. Go ahead and take a moment, introduce yourself to the people, let the people know who you are.
Okay, so I'm Denika Nicole. That's my foundation name, but I'm Denika Fortner. Um, let's see where to start. I'm a massage therapist, a baker, um, an endometriosis survivor, and what else? What all else I do? You know what I do.
Listen, we'll talk about it.
I know,
We
right? It's so
we gonna
much.
talk about it. Yes, yes, it is so much. So, um, so we're gonna get into a few things, but one thing that I do want to go ahead and shout out real quick. So for those of you who have been paying attention and watching me here lately, I've been wearing beads. I've been wearing a lot of beads, and I got beads on tonight.
Hmm.
And these beads, so this bead right here, these are beads that Nikki made for me specifically for the podcast. And then these beads were some beads that she made for me for my mom's birthday celebration. And then these are my twin beads. We'll talk about that later on. But She is an amazing person. She's an amazing woman. And one of the things that's exciting to me about having her on the show is she is an endometriosis warrior and she's an endometriosis survivor. And so shout out to you, hand claps for all of that. We celebrate you tonight. We giving you all the love and the shouts out and all of that. But this is what I need you to do. This is what I need you to do. I need you to take a few minutes and explain in layman's terms. And
Mhm.
when I mean layman's terms, I mean not like people like me who don't know what this stuff means. So tell us in simple terms what endometriosis is.
Okay. So basically, endometriosis is a condition or a disease where your lining of your uterus, that's normally what women shed during their cycle or what encases the womb during pregnancy, that lining of your uterus that typically just stays in your uterus is now found on the outside of your uterus in different parts of your body, in your pelvic, on your stomach, on your bowels, on your lungs. It pretty much has been found all over the body, but it's supposed to be only in your uterus. So when it steps outside of the uterus, that's when it is considered the condition of endometriosis.
Okay. And
Mhm,
so what I want this to be very informative.
mhm.
And so we going it, I'm gonna ask questions. Um, and I do invite all of you who are watching. Again, thank you so much. If you have questions, please post those questions, and we will, as much as we can. And I don't want to put Nikki on the spot. Nikki is not an expert, so I don't want to make her. I don't want to put her out there as she is all things endometriosis. And so, if you have any questions, you can ask her. The first thing I'm going to tell you, if you have any questions, please consult your healthcare provider. That's first and foremost. Okay. For tonight's purposes, she is the expert because I just learned how to pronounce this word a couple of years ago when I was talking to her about it. Like endometriosis. What? Oh, okay. Um, I do want to put this graphic up on the screen once again. And so statistically, and I just found this on today. So Nikki, you can help me out. Let me know, how accurate, how off, or how on this is. But 1 in 10 individuals with a uterus experience endometriosis,
That
and
is
so I know that is the politically correct way to say women.
yes.
Um, but this is the Step Sated podcast, and so if you are a woman and you have a uterus and 1 in 10 women will experience endometriosis. And so when it came down to your process, if you're open to share this, with the listeners, tell us what were the triggers for you to say, hey, I need to go get something checked out because something is not right.
Well, when I first realized something was wrong, I went to my primary doctor, my primary gynecologist, and told them, I'm having awful pain during my cycle time, and I'm like, so I'm wondering what's going on because I had never had pain before, and we did an ultrasound, and I ended up for whatever odd reasons the office wouldn't give me my results that at that time, so it ended up being a year later that I suffered before I got my results back, and I'm in the doctor's office, and I'm telling him like, my situation just getting worse. What is it? What's going on? He was like, oh well, you got fibroids. No big deal. And I'm like, to me at that time, fibroids was new. I didn't know what that was. It was new to me, so it was a big deal to me. But he kind of just brushed it off like nothing was wrong. So outside of having fibroids, but I'm like, this can't. I know other people who had fibroids. They not. doing what I'm doing. So I go on another year, just living life, trying to make it through, and my blood pressure got out of control. Nothing the doctors were giving me was getting it under control, and I got to where I couldn't lay down at night. If I laid down flat, I couldn't breathe. So I go to my primary care doctor, and I'm telling her my blood pressure out of control, and I can't breathe. And she was like, "That doesn't sound right." So she said, "You know what? Just by chance, let me send you to get a chest X-ray."
Mm-hmm.
So I go get a chest X-ray, and about 2 hours after the X-ray, my doctor called me back and was like, "You need to get to an ER right now." And I'm like, "Why? What's going on?" And she was like, "Your right lung is completely filled with fluid." So, and then it's just by chance I was at a red light right next to a hospital. So I just turned into the emergency room and went in, and I ended up having emergency surgery behind that. And that's when they discovered that it was endometriosis.
So thank God, number one, that you were right next to a hospital.
Yeah,
So you could just go ahead and turn in. And as we talk about this, there are parts to this story that I remember in the process, but some of the details I don't have all the information on. And
right.
so, but I do remember that there were times during the process that the doctors were giving you suggestions, as I would say, and you were like, "No, I don't think I want to do that." So would you, as much as you're comfortable, just share that with, the listeners, let them know. Because the other part that I want you to talk about, or the other thing I want you to do is talk about the importance of being your own healthcare advocate. Meaning, just because the doctor says A, B, and C, you know your body. To your point, the doctor said you got fibroids. He was like, "No, I know people with fibroids, and this is not how this is not how it was for them." And so you dug a little deeper. And so, let's talk about what it means to be your own advocate. Excuse me. Let's talk about what it means to be your own advocate. Not saying that we don't trust physicians, not saying that we don't trust doctors, but at the same time, understanding that sometimes for our own sake, we have to dig a little deeper. So unfold that, unpack that for me a little bit.
Okay, so after from leaving, we're gonna start from this hospital experience
Okay.
because when I had this emergency lung surgery, they said that they found endometriosis and also mesothelioma. And behind it, because I was like, no. And I said, I ain't got no cancer. Because, mesothelioma is lung cancer. And
Hmm.
I'm like, and I said, no, that ain't right. I don't have lung cancer. And they wanted me to, of course, to do all the treatments and stuff. And I ended up having a second lung surgery a year later, but in between that year time span they wanted me to do the chemo and the radiation, and I just kept telling them, no, I don't have cancer, so no, I'm not going to do treatment. So I set
Hmm.
out looking for a doctor, a specialist that could help me, even though it was a mesothelioma specialist that I was looking for somebody that could go in more detail than just the thoracic doctor that was at the hospital that I was at.
Right.
And so me knowing my body and me knowing God, I was like, I ain't got no cancer because these people told me that I had cancer in 2 years to live. And I was
Hmm.
like, no, that ain't it. So I had to set out.
Pause. All right, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. She froze on me. So this is what I'm gonna say while we get this while we get her back linked in. I do want to say something that I hope you all caught what she said right before it blinked out, because she said the doctors told her that she had mesothelioma and she had 2 years to live. Okay, she's back. So I was talking about that. So they told you you had mesothelioma, and you had 2 years to live. Just for the sake of testimony, because I like testimonies. How many years ago was that?
Ooh, that was in 2016.
So that was 2016. This is 2024.
Correct.
So that was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And she is yet here. Come on,
Um,
give God praise. Because something she said, I know my body and I know God, and I ain't got no cancer. And so that's a praise right there. I just thought I'd just insert that little praise break in there right there. Okay, so now we back. Go ahead.
okay. And so from there, I took what the doctor said, and the whole time, even though I didn't believe, you have to have something to go off of to do your research. So from there, I found a second opinion. And sometimes you have to get a second, third, and even fourth opinion because I went to two different hospitals here in Jackson. Both those hospitals told me I had cancer. I went to the third hospital, which was the specialist in New Orleans, had the second lung surgery to come back for them to say, no, you don't have cancer. And I knew I didn't have cancer. But
Hmm.
at the let me let me inject this in here. Let me show you how God worked because I knew I ain't had cancer. But
Come on, show us how God works.
for the second lung surgery, the plan was to do a chemo wash inside of my chest. The nurse said she put the order in. She knows she put the order in, and she thought that the chemo wash was where it was supposed to be. But the day of surgery, they could not find it. So they just said, well, we can't find it. We can't prolong the surgery. Let's just move forth without it. To
Hmm.
have the surgery, get the results back, I didn't have cancer.
Hallelujah.
You see what I'm saying?
God blocked it.
And he did. And so from there, even because I was having fluid build up on my stomach and in my lungs. So that's where the lung surgeries came from. And
Mhm.
even though I had the two lung surgeries, and they still told me they couldn't figure out where the fluid was coming from. I'm telling the doctors, this is related to my cycle. I'm telling them, I know this is where this is coming from. This is what this fluid. I've had 3 specialists tell me that that was impossible, that it wasn't connected because the body don't work like that. And I know the body is everything is connected. We all is, and they told, and I'm telling them from the beginning, this is related to my cycle.
Mhm.
Can somebody check and see? Can we do some tests? Is there anything we can do? Everybody's telling me no, that can't be eaten. They looking at me like I'm crazy because I'm the doctor, I'm the specialist. How you gonna tell me what to look into? And so I kept doing my own research. I even started doing some natural things on my own because I'm into that. That's my jam right there. So
Mhm.
I was doing things in between on my own to try to help myself, all along looking for a doctor that could help me.
Right.
Well, in the end, because things had been going on for so long before I found a doctor that would actually listen to me to say, you know what, I think you are right. I think this is connected to your cycle. Let's do
Mhm.
further tests. And so I ended up finding this doctor in 2019 at St. Dominic's, and I've been with this doctor ever since. Um, but by the time I had found her, things had gotten so bad that it wasn't anything I could do but to go on and have a full hysterectomy and have the endometriosis removed from my body. So that's where we are right now.
Okay. And so now let's talk about the so since your phrase, this is where we are right now. So let's talk about where we are right now. Where are we right now in the
Um,
Nikki journey?
in the Nikki journey, that's what you said. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Right now we're in recovery because I had surgery in January. So right now we're in recovery. Everything is going good. Um, the doctor said she was able to remove about 95% of the endo. Um, because there were some in places that she just couldn't get to. It wasn't safe for her to try to get to remove. So she said she
Okay.
left about 5%. Overall, right now, good. We're just healing up. And I just want to let people know that if they do have this situation or in this condition, that they are not alone. Because for a long time I thought, because doctors were telling me they had never seen a case like mine, and I thought I was the only one for the longest, so I didn't know where to go or where to look, and I was trying to do things by myself. But we just here to bring awareness and let people know you're not alone. You have people you can reach out to. There's resources you can check into, and to just do your own research. Don't just listen to what the first doctor say. If you don't feel comfortable about anything that they're saying in your treatment, you have the right to say no. Your treatment plan is something that you and your doctor should agree upon. You should be comfortable with it. You shouldn't just listen to the doctor and the doctor, oh, we gonna do this, and you really like, no, that's not what I want to do. Speak up, tell your doctor what you want to do. If you have a doctor that's trying to pressure you or tell you that, no, this, you gotta do this, no, I don't gotta do nothing. I'm gonna do what I'm comfortable with, and I'm gonna go get a second opinion, a third opinion, or a fourth opinion before I make up my mind on what I'm going to do. You have that right. So don't let doctors pressure you or be scared, and you're not alone in this situation.
And if I can just interject right here, and that doesn't just apply to endometriosis, that's everything from a headache to a hangnail. If you got a hangnail and the doctor say we're gonna have to chop your thumb off, like no, you're not finna chop my thumb off. Well, if you don't chop your thumb off right now, then the hangnail could turn into gangrene and it could turn into this and then it could get to your heart. Okay, I hear you, but right now it's just a hangnail. So we ain't finna chop my thumb off for a hangnail. I'm finna go over here to Mingling and give me a good pedicure or manicure, and then we'll deal with it that way. And you ain't finna cut my thumb off now. I know that was a bit extreme. You know,
But
that
he
was
got the point across.
I got the point across. That was the whole point.
Yeah.
The point is just because the doctor says it, and again, this is because I don't want to make it seem like we're bashing healthcare professionals. That's not what we're doing. What she said was your healthcare plan, your plan of care should be something that you both agree on and that you are comfortable with. Because after your doctor get through hacking on you and cutting on you, they're gonna go home with all their body parts and another paycheck. And now you are having to learn how to adjust and live life without your left arm.
That is
So
correct.
let's that, and that's the whole point. You want to make sure that you're clear on what the doctor's orders are. You're clear on what the doctor is saying. If you're not clear, ask questions. Go talk to someone else. And so that's all good. So now let's get into more of what Nikki does. Oh wait, I had this graphic for you. I should have showed it before I brought you on. But that's your graphic. There you go. So let's talk about what Nikki does.
Okay.
So we have, well, I'll let you talk about those. So tell us about the Danica Nicole Foundation.
The Denika Nicole Foundation was founded, of course, because I am an endometriosis warrior, and I wanted to do something to help spread the awareness about endometriosis and to let people know that if you're in this situation, you have this condition, you're not alone, you have a whole family and someone and people to turn. And so, with starting a foundation, we sell handcrafted bracelets and T-shirts. Mainly in things, T-shirts that say endometrial warrior, endo strong. That's, I like to say endo strong because for me, it reminds me that yeah, I have endometriosis, but endometriosis don't have me. So you might see me wearing an endo strong shirt quite often because at times I need that reminder.
Yeah.
But those are things that we do. Just wear your little bracelet, say endometriosis or endo support help, because when you have loved ones or family members, friends who have conditions, they need support. They need their team around them, and it doesn't hurt for you to just wear something to say, yeah, I got a loved one. I'm showing support, and so that's where that comes in.
So now I'm gonna interject right here. So um you mentioned the bracelets.
Mhm.
So on Saturday, April the 27th, there will be a spring pop-up shop, which is sponsored by the Danica Nicole Foundation. The pop-up shop is going to be at Glory Empowerment Center, 115 Maddox Road, Jackson, Mississippi 39212. If you are interested in getting bracelets, if you're interested in getting information about endometriosis, if you're interested in t-shirts or doing anything to help further this cause, you can meet Danica there. Once again, this is on April the 27th. And we will continue here on the Steps At It podcast. We'll continue to push this to make you all aware so that you all will know. And also, if you are interested, if you have a business and you're interested in being a vendor at the pop-up shop, you can reach out to Danica. You can find her on social media at Facebook. She is Denika Fortner, right?
Correct.
On Instagram, she is
Danica Nicole.
okay. That's been saying when I stop, you're supposed to just fill in the blank right there. That they mean I don't know. Okay. And so I will make sure we get all of this information. But please reach out to her. I will also have all of this information on my page. And Stephen B will be providing entertainment for the pop-up shop on the 27th. Get excited. Okay, so now that was an abrupt stop on the applause. I'm sorry. So now tell us about Posh and Pretty Spa and Art Lounge.
Okay, so Posh and Pretty came about during my downtime from Highly Favored, but we sell paint party canvases where do your group paint party canvases, preferably at home if everybody wants to have little parties and gatherings at home. It's more safer. We understand. So you can get your paint party canvases, or if you're doing self-care events, you can get your paint party canvases from Posh and Pretty.
Okay. And then we have Cupcakes by Danica.
Yes, Cupcakes by Denika was born to give honor to my mom because she taught me how to bake. And so we offer gourmet cupcakes.
And let me say, these cupcakes and pound cake, it's so good. Like, they are really good. They are so good. All right. And then we have Highly Favored Holistic Wellness Center. Now, I do know when we talked about this, you did mention that right now you are currently not taking any new clients. However, we do want to go ahead and talk about it so that as things start opening up for you, then we got you out there going. So tell us about Highly Favored Holistic Wellness Center.
Okay, Highly Favored is my baby. This was my first business that I started. I'm a massage therapist. I've been a massage therapist for 17 years this year. So I opened the wellness center because I have a true passion for just helping people, and I love injured people. I don't know if that sounds strange or not, but I do. I love helping injured people. And so the goal here at Highly Favored is to help you to learn how to live a healthy and whole life, free of stress, anxiety. God wants you to live a happy life, a whole life. And so our goal is to help you have total wellness here in Highly Favored.
That's wonderful. So, again, thank you for providing us with all of this information. We will make sure that we can do everything on this platform to get everything out there. So now, hold on. This one for you. Just random crickets. So, um, on the show, we talk about the wonderful things and the positive things and all of that. But now let's take a turn. Hold on, let me do my big turn so they can see the beads. Let's take a turn. So, about the end of last year, beginning of this year, there was a lot of buzz on social media about places that a man should take. Oh, wait, hold on one second. Hold on one second. I have a question for you. The question is, does she sell her cake?
Yes. I sell cupcakes and pound cakes.
Yes, she does. So, uh, th- you know what? I got one of your pound cakes.
Hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say.
You can email me at cupcakesbydanika@gmail if you want to place an order.
Cupcakes by Denika
Correct?
at gmail.com.
Yes.
Hold on one second. There we go. Cupcakes by Danica at gmail.com. If you would like to place an order, she will be more than happy to provide you with those details. And that was my mama who asked that question. So,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
yeah. All right. So now let's turn this corner. That was this whole conversation about where a man should not take a woman on a first date. And you remember that?
Vaguely, yes.
Vaguely, yes. I mean, it's an old conversation, but well. So let me ask this. Let me rewind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying this like I'm not asking for me. This is just to open up the conversation for the listeners. Are you single?
Yes.
I feel like I just got myself in trouble asking that question. I'm sorry. So I didn't say single and ready to mingle. I just said single. That's all.
Yeah, you just said single. Yeah,
That's
I'm
all I
single.
said was single. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So so that means that at a point you have been on a date or two or three.
Mm-hmm.
So give me Danika's top three places that you can go on a first date, and then give me three places you better not ever think about taking me on a first date. You need some time to think about it.
Yeah. Let's see
Okay.
where we can go. Hmm. I don't want to cause no controversy or nothing
Hey,
on
listen,
your podcast.
this is my
Um,
podcast.
I know.
Stop,
I'm
stop the
trying to think.
controversy.
Okay, because yeah, I know my answer probably not gonna be the typical answer, but I'm an
Understood.
outdoorsy. I'm an outdoorsy person,
Okay.
so we can go to the park. We can go fishing. I've been really wanting to go fishing.
Okay.
Um, somewhere where it's quiet, where we can hold a conversation and get to know each other. We can go out to eat, but I'm not gonna say I'm a picky eater, but I'm a picky eater, so we can go to certain restaurants.
Okay.
Hmm. We can go to an arcade. These are my things.
Now they ain't no arcades nowhere. Ain't no
I'm
arcades
saying,
nowhere.
I'm saying like somewhere
I'm messing with
where we got that we can games.
you. Right.
I don't I you know somewhere we can play games like that.
Okay. All right. So
Those
that's
are
three.
my answers.
Okay, and that's good. That's good. So would you be upset if a man took you to Applebee's on the first date?
I would prefer not. That's not a place. I wouldn't say
Okay.
I would be upset, but that's not a place I eat at. So
Okay. If a man took you to Zia's on a first date.
I wouldn't be upset about Zia. I eat it. I wouldn't be upset about Zia.
Okay. Um, we don't have one here, but if a man took you to Cheesecake Factory, would you be
No, I don't have nothing against Cheesecake Factory.
okay? All right. Okay.
I,
So give me
I,
the
I do remember that was the main thing. The girl was mad. She went to Cheesecake Factory. Don't take me to McDonald's, Burger King. Don't. Now that's the issue. Don't take me no fast food place. You don't take me to a restaurant. We can sit down. We can talk. Okay, fine. The point is to getting to know the person somewhere we can sit and we can talk one on one.
okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that covered the second part of the question. Um, don't take me. So I said the place you better not take me. So if we going on a date and I pull up at McDonald's,
No.
it's not
Don't,
going.
don't say what we here for. What we doing over here?
Can we go to McDonald's on the second date?
No, I don't eat McDonald's.
Oh, oh, okay, okay, I got it. So, and I'm joking. I know that. I know that. We're doing this for the show. I get
Yeah.
it. So, so, so then because as a woman, what are some, oh, how do I want to ask this question? What are some things that a woman should, um, okay, and I'm being very surface when I ask this. So there are no insinuations or anything when I ask this question. What are some things that a woman should expect to offer on a first date? And again, I'm being very surface. I am not nothing physical. I'm not saying if you go with a man on first date and he take you to the Cheesecake Factory, then he give you cheesecakes and you got to give up cookies. That is not what I'm saying under no stretch.
I
But
got
but it seems like in the conversation, in the scope of that conversation, there was a lot that was being said that men need to do, should do. Men need to do this, men need to do this, men need to do that. Okay. So what do women need to do on a first date?
on the first date, they need to be concerned about getting to know who that man is and worrying about themselves. Because um, if you have to pay for your own food, you ain't gonna have no issues about, oh, he think I owe him something. It's the first date. You don't know this man. He don't owe you nothing. You don't owe him nothing. You trying to get to know him. Be worried about having a good conversation. That's my opinion.
That's good information. I love the way you said it. You're like, be prepared to pay for your own food. That way he don't owe you nothing. You don't owe him nothing. Drive your own car. That
Hello.
way, if it don't go good, you can get in your vehicle.
Get
He can
in
get in his
car and
vehicle.
leave. End of the date. Goodbye. Don't call
Lose
me.
lose my number.
Hello.
So what are good indicators that a second date is possible?
That you guys had a good conversation. You vibe through the conversation. It wasn't no awkward, stale moments. You just enjoyed each other's company, and you want to see that person for again. And you got a little hesitation. I don't know about that. Then go with that. Trust your instincts. If you don't know about it, then don't do it. But if y'all had a good time and you like, okay, yeah, I can see myself going out with that person again, then hey, go out with them again.
It's one. I love how you give just such simple, cut and dry answers because it
Tell
really
me,
is. It really
very
is simple.
straightforward.
It is simple and cut and dry. So
Yeah,
I appreciate that. So that's good. That's good information. All right, last question, and then I'm gonna let you go on back and make some beads or make some, because it's Easter coming up. So
yeah.
surely.
That, that's the plan for tonight. Make some more bracelets.
Listen, I need
What colors?
it's Easter,
Oh,
so you know. You know,
Okay.
I'm gonna be shy. I'm gonna be shy. So yeah. But before we do that, is there anything else that you would like to share, or anything else that you would like to say? This you have the platform is yours. Express how you want to express.
Well, first, thank you for having me on. This is
Yep.
my first interview. I hope I didn't do too bad.
I
So,
think you did great.
okay,
You can
thanks.
interview with me anytime.
um, I think I just for people who have loved ones who have a medical condition. It can be hard for that person, mentally, physically, spiritually, just emotionally. It can be hard for that person. So at times they will need a little encouragement, and then at times they just need you to show grace. They need their support system the most during hard times or flare ups. Um, and that help goes a long way. So just be mindful and show a little love to those around you who are suffering from some type of condition. Because and even for those who not, just it's sometimes just everybody need a little love, a little extra love. So just show some grace.
So okay, so you said that and it sparked a question. So I have a loved one who has a condition.
Hmm.
What how do I show support? What does that look like? What does showing support look like? Do I and I'll let you like how what does that look like?
Well, everybody's situation is going to be different, but you know
Right.
your loved one. You know whether or not they just need company. For me, my situation, sometimes I just need company. I just need somebody there. Might not say a word, but I just need somebody that I notice in my corner right there in case I want to talk, in case I need some a shoulder to cry on. Everybody's going to be different. Some people like snacks. Drop off some because sometimes you don't have the energy to get out the bed and cook a meal, but you can reach over on the at your little bit being on your bed and get a snack. So even if it's a phone call, hey, I'm checking in, you need anything, I'm here for you. Just show some support, show some love. Um, that's pretty much like you know your loved one, you know what they would need the most. Sometimes people don't express it, but you know what they need. And if not, just flat out ask. But pretty much just being there.
I got you. And that's and something you just said that's key. If you don't know what to do, ask.
Hmm.
Because no two people are the same. You may have that person who wants you to come over and just sit with you, and and that person that's what they need. But you got somebody else who they don't necessarily need you to come over and sit with them, but they need snacks.
Hmm.
So if you got somebody who needs you to sit with them and you just drop off a basket of snacks and leave,
Yeah, you did something, but you
but
ain't really nothing.
right. And then vice versa, if it's somebody who needs snacks and you just pull up and be like,
Hey, I just came to sit with you. What we watching? Yeah.
and then so to that point, yes, communication is key. So Nikki, thank you so much for taking the time to carve out this moment to be on the podcast. I appreciate you so very much. Once again, if you want some cupcakes, you can email her at cupcakesbydanika@gmail.com. Also, if you want some information about anything that she has going on, please feel free. Look her up on social media. At Facebook, she is Denika Fortner. On Instagram, she is Denika Nicole. And they are dropping love on you right now. Yes, they are rocking with you. You did a great job. So,
Thank
y'all,
you,
come
guys.
on, give it up one more time for my sister, The crickets were still chirping. My sister, Danica Nicole, Denika Fortner. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll follow up with you to get some other details so I can start posting and sharing. Once again, the pop up shop, April the 27th at Glory Empowerment Center. It's the last Saturday in April, right?
Correct.
The last Saturday in April from 10 to 4. Please come out and be a part of that. Wait, hold on. Still showing love.
Oh, thank
Come
you.
out and be a part of that. If you have questions, you can reach out to Danica and she can give you those details. So, again, thank you so much for being on the show tonight.
You're welcome, and thank you for
So,
having me.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, before we wrap up tonight, again, I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with your boy on tonight. I do want to just kind of have a moment to share a final thought. One of the things that Danica mentioned in her closing statement was just being there. And what I want to say is, y'all, please you know, look in on your people, check in on your people. I saw a post today that said, let's be a little more gracious because life be lifing. And so a lot of times we don't know what people are going through. We don't know what people got going on. So please take a moment, y'all reach out to your people, make sure they good, make sure they happy, make sure they smiling. It's sometimes it is the simple things. Sometimes it's the little things. Sometimes it's just a text message to say, hey, I'm thinking about you. Hey, smile. God loves you and I do too. It's the little things that go a long way. I do want to invite all of you to visit me. I am Step Set It across all social media platforms. I'm Step Set It on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter. I had to think about all of them. So I am Step Set It. Also, please go consider becoming a partner. This is where you can go and help support this work. All of that information is on my website at www.stepsetit.com. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me on tonight. This is the Steps Edit podcast. I am here every Thursday at 8 o'clock. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for those of you who have shown your support, for those of you who have been consistent, for those of you who have been riding with me throughout this entire process. It's been fun. It's been real. I have another guest that's going to be joining me on next week. Stay tuned as those details unfold. If you have any questions, if there is a topic that you want me to discuss on the show, please feel free to send those letters to me. You can send them right there, stepsetit@gmail.com. You can send those letters to me, stepsetit@gmail.com. Also, I'll just let that play and y'all can read the little ticker going down at the bottom. Submit your burning question and topics to be featured on the show. As you all know, my tagline here on the Steps Headed podcast is if you ask me, I'll tell you. And so submit those letters to me, get that information to me, and we'll be more than happy to talk about it on the show. Once again, as always, this is the Steps Headed podcast. I am your host, Stephen B., and I'm here every Thursday at 8 o'clock Central Time. And if anybody asks you where you get your information from, you know what to tell them. Step Said It. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a good night.